It's Week 15 in the NFL, so get ready for the reigning MVP, Aaron Rodgers of the Packers, and the previous MVP, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens. Next on EA Sports.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Now we get a look at Aaron Rodgers as he gets set to lead this Green Bay Packer offense. Rodgers now in his 17th season in the league, and of course, coming off the MVP trophy. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now it's Rodgers. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Calais Campbell on the stop. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the 1st down as they stop him short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And Crosby puts it through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Ravens offense set to take over and led by a man still just in his 4th season in the NFL, the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 48. Now it's Jackson. He'll go right back to Andrews. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Here we go. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers caught by Cobb. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers to throw once more. And it's complete to Adams. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 17-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's the big man Dillon with it. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown.
Here we go.
Randall Cobb, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson, and he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Adams. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Rodgers now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just steered the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. This is caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan, as the first half is winding down. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, You put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
To throw is Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. From midfield now, here's Jackson.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. Tucker's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Throwing now is Rodgers.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big connection on that one. 37 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Jackson.
And this is caught by Watkins. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 30. Jackson, draw play to Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards. To throw again on second down. Jackson. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Now Jackson. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender on over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
On 2nd down, Dillon.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. On the handoff, this is Dillon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Now a handoff to Dillon.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Green Bay, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.